Hi, this is Beverly with the Well-Trained Dog and Pet Care, and today my guest is Julie Rickmond, spokeswoman from the Roanoke Valley SPCA. We're going to discuss a little bit about what the SPCA actually is and does, and how you might and I might be able to help. Welcome, Julie.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, give me a little bit of the history of the SPCA.
Our SPCA is actually over 100 years old. So we have been around for a very, very long time. We started off as a shelter for pets, of course, but then a few years later, were able to become a nonprofit. And so, like I said, we've been around for a very, very long time helping the pets in our community. And over that span of time, since 1916, when we first opened up, and then 1958, when we actually became a nonprofit, we've really pivoted our operations. So I think the sheltering world itself has changed over the last several years. And we went from saying, we'll take your animals, to we don't want your animals in the shelter. Like, hold on. Maybe there's a way that we can keep pets and people together in their loving homes. So people know us as an adoption center. They know us as a place to provide safe sheltering for pets. But we also offer a variety of pet retention programs, like I said, to try and keep pets in their loving homes, because the shelter is a hard place for pets to be.
Absolutely. And Julie, I know it's called the Roanoke Valley SPCA, but how far out do you go?
So we help pets throughout really Southwest Virginia, the Roanoke Valley, but we also like our pet food pantry. We service the Roanoke Valley, but Roanoke City, Roanoke County, Vinton, Salem, and sort of our neighboring counties.
Can people relinquish their animals to you, or do they have to go to the pound, which, by the way, is in the same building, just connected with a door and a hallway, I believe?
So yeah, we're actually separate facilities. Local municipal shelter is the Regional Center for Animal Care and Protection. They are right next door to us. So we do have owner relinquishments into our facility. And so does the Regional Center for Animal Care and Protection. We do not take in strays at our facility, but they do. And the reason for that is, if you've lost your pet, you don't want to have to go from shelter to shelter to shelter trying to see, does this one have my pet? Does this one have my pet? You can go to one municipal facility to see if they have the pet. Also, the pet has to be held for it's usually between 5 to 10 days. If we were to take in strays, we're a very, very small shelter. So that's taking really limited space from pets who need sheltering. So we leave the strays to the municipal facility. Once the stray hold is up, if they have not been claimed, then we can pull them from that facility into our care.
You mentioned that there are programs in place to stop that from even happening at all.
Yes. So like I said, we really strive to keep pets in their loving homes. So we offer a variety of pet retention programs, which includes behavior assistance. Behavior issues are one of the most common reasons we see for pet relinquishment. So about 50% of the pets that come into our care are actually coming in due to behavior issues. So we have a Judith Goins Behavior Assistance Fund. We can connect you with some really amazing trainers who use fear-free methods, positive reinforcement. They're not going to be using shock collars and things like that, which can instill a little bit more fear into a pet. So we can connect you with those trainers and help get the training that you need so you can keep your dog or your cat. And we also offer veterinary assistance. So if you're faced with relinquishing your pet due to an extreme vet cost, we've had a pet who had a dislocated leg that was going to require potentially some surgery, we were able to help with. Parvo cases. We always recommend getting a vaccine for a parvo. It's a really simple vaccine. It's very cost effective. But when you're trying to treat parvo, if your pet has contracted it, it's usually between $2,000 and $3,000 for treatment, because you're only treating the symptoms. There's no cure for it. So, and even with treatment, it's not a guarantee that your pet will live. So we've got that veterinary fund as well. It's called the Care Fund or Companion Animal Relief Fund. We have a pet food pantry. We've got Dot's drive through. So it's a monthly pet food drive through. All you have to do is tell us how many pets you have in your household. As long as you live in one of our neighboring counties and communities that we service, you can come through once a month and just drive through. We put pet food right in the trunk of your car. We also partner with the local Office on Aging and Meals on Wheels and local human food pantries to provide them with pet food so folks can have a one-stop shop. If they're going to get food for themselves, they can also get food for their pets. Something that's been found is that Meals on Wheels participants and food pantry participants were actually giving their own food to their pets.
Which, of
And they
course,
were
as we
going
know, is
hungry.
not good for them.
Exactly. It's not good for them, but that was the only thing they had. And they were going hungry themselves to feed their pets. So that's why we've done that. We've partnered with all them so they can actually have pet food for their pets and food for themselves. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you seen this become a shift? Oh, I like the little kitty that's walking.
Yep. I got several running around.
Okay, that's cute. So have you seen this as a shift, during the pandemic or since the pandemic?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. We've seen and actually right now too, we're seeing, I think housing, the housing atmosphere the way it is, it's causing more relinquishments. I think we've seen an increase in relinquishments and a slowdown in adoptions of especially big dogs. So cats seem to be still being adopted very well, but large dogs, we are having issues getting out of the building, and there is a wait list to get them into the building.
Okay.
So I think there's kind of a combination of things going on with that. Like I said, kind of the housing crisis, I think, plays a large part in that because people are having to move. And when they're moving into places that don't allow pets or they only allow pets under 20 pounds. HOAs have limitations on some of, they have weight limits for pets. So finding housing where you can take a pet, I think is harder for folks. And then with inflation and things like that, I think it's harder to, again, feed yourself. So then the pets fall by the wayside. So one of the things, another program that we have is actually a rehoming program where we try and skip the shelter. So we will advertise your pet for you for free. You list your pet on our rehoming page if you do need to rehome. If our other programs don't work and you can't keep your pet, we can try and list them on our rehoming page for free. And then we, like I said, we'll advertise on our social media. We have a large following and try and get word out that this pet is available for adoption. And then the actual owner of the pet facilitates that adoption process. So it gives them a little bit more control. They can see who is taking their pet versus relinquishing to a shelter and not knowing anything else about who has your pet. And the pet then skips the shelter. They go from one loving home to the next.
What challenges is the Roanoke Valley SPCA facing at this point?
I think one of our biggest challenges right now is our roof. We really, really need a roof. We need a new roof. We have repaired it so much that we cannot really repair it anymore. It needs to be replaced. We're actually working to raise about $125,000 for the roof replacement. We It's actually impacting our life-saving efforts. We have a leak in one of the small dog kennels, and so we can't put a dog in there because we can't have water dripping on a dog when it rains. So that's one of the biggest things that we're fundraising for. But then also, we've noticed with our care fund, which is so highly used, and that is that extraordinary vet cost fund. So if you have a pet that has, a medical issue, and then you take your pet to the vet and you're like, I can't afford this, we can step in usually and try and help out. So that fund is also running very, very low.
When the pets come into the shelter, you have enrichment activities. I think they can go outside and go hiking with people. People can like adopt them for the day or something. Talk a
So
little bit
yeah,
about those
we
programs.
have some very trained volunteers who come in. They can walk the dogs. Of course, our staff walks the dogs several times a day as well. We do have a hiking trail, a little trail up in the woods that we can take the dogs on. We have a play yard for the dogs. Same thing with the cats. And we try and change up the enrichment. So we have boards for all of our pets, and on those, they're whiteboards, and on them, we list the enrichment for the day for this pet. And so we make sure that maybe this pet has a puzzle feeder today, and they're, or one of their favorite toys, or they are going on a hiking trail, or maybe with the cats, we're doing scent enrichment or sight enrichment. So we try and make sure that everyone can see, our volunteers and staff can see what this pet has done the last few days, and then what their enrichment schedule is for the next several days, so that we're changing things up. They're not doing it's not getting boring. It's not the same old thing.
How can we help?
You can help in a variety of ways. So obviously donating is awesome. We always love when folks donate. You can come and volunteer your time. We have a variety of positions available. So we use volunteer photographers. We use folks who like to sew. People can come in and walk the dogs, or do enrichment with the pets. There's lots of both hands-on animal activities and hands-off animal activities. There's so many things that you can do to get involved. We have yard work that can be done, trail maintenance that can be done, those kind of things as well. So whatever you're interested in, we can usually find a fit for you. And then share our posts. So when we're posting on social media, follow us, share. We often share if the municipal shelter is full. So yesterday, our municipal shelter, between the last 2 days, they've taken in over 50 cats from one household. So we were working yesterday to pull multiple cats from them since they were relinquished. They didn't have to be held on a stray hold. So we filled our kennels with cats just to make more room. And we're going to get them vetted and get them through the process so that they're ready for adoption. But if you follow our social media, we can get that information out. We need fosters. We have a puppy right now who needs a medical foster. He has an upper respiratory infection. It's basically like a common cold. He's a little snotty. He coughs a little bit. So he just needs a place outside of the shelter where he can relax and have some TLC. You can have other pets in your household, but we recommend just keeping him separate. If you have a room or something, that would be awesome for him. There's just so many ways that folks can help.
And what else would you like viewers to know?
So just if you're looking to adopt, now is a great time to do so. We are participating in Empty the Shelters. It's a Bissell Pet Foundation program. So we have reduced adoption fees right now. They are 50% off on our adult dogs over 6 months and over 20 pounds, and our adult cats over 6 months. So if you've been thinking about adopting a furry friend, now is a great time to do so. That special runs through May 15th.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Julie Rickmond from the Roanoke Valley SPCA.